Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you a layout that changes so much over the course of this video. I actually started it with the camera turned off and then decided I would film it, and I had in my mind a really clear idea of what I wanted, which was the white paper, which is going to make up the bulk of the background, to be ripped, and then all of the little pieces of paper, all different colours and patterns, kind of ripped and ruffled toward the left hand side, like you're seeing currently in this clip. Now, I start off kind of liking it, and as it goes on and as I try to find a space for the picture, I just really struggle with where to put everything and trying to work out what doesn't sit right for me with this really left justified layout. Yeah, and you'll just kind of see how it progresses. This is a layout about just yesterday when I filmed it, and it was just about how I was feeling, because it's just been a really weird, depressing kind of month, which is I don't normally scrapbook about bad times, to be totally honest. I'll normally scrapbook about them in the context of putting a positive spin on something, because that's just, I would say, how I am, and I don't like to look back at negative things and carry on seeing them in a negative way. So I normally wait until after the event, when I think sometimes you have a fresher perspective on what's going on. But it was just one of those days, and it was just overwhelming, all of the things in the world that seem to be going wrong, and just missing family and missing friends, and actually having had kind of a few days of some really tough conversations, especially with people you love who you actually haven't seen for ages. So it's, I don't know, it's just not been the best week. So I was kind of documenting that. I wanted to keep it light and airy, and I just wanted to have some time to switch off. But this day, obviously feeling the way I was feeling, I just really struggled to make this look like anything I wanted it to look like. So I've added all the layers up the side, and I can tell you now that I am looking at this whilst I'm cutting this bit of paper and thinking, I don't like this. And especially when I add the photo, I just feel like it's too much, it's too busy. So I'm popping back here. I've added my journaling, and I had gone off camera and I just fiddled around with it. I spent about an hour fannying around with it, and I just ended up just cutting it. I just cut it right down, trimmed it right down. I felt like it was too much paper, and I added it to the bottom. I used some Simple Stories number stickers to talk about kind of 5 feelings or 5 kind of emotions. It's not the most coherent journaling, to be honest. It all kind of melds into one point, and I don't know. It was just this layout was just a massive challenge. I'm adding a few paper layers, and for all of this I was just using scraps of paper. So to be totally frank, I can't really remember what all the paper brands are. I'm pretty sure that this dark bluey purple paper is from Cocoa Vanilla Studio, and the paper in the background that I'm using, that has the little circle in it, that's actually one of the colour packs for the alphabet stamp, We Are Memory Keepers alphabet punch board. That's it. But I actually bought the mini, so they're not as useful, and I don't know why I bought the coloured papers, but they're really good for layering anyway. I don't really use them for the alphabet punch board. I've added lots of vellum behind it, because I really just felt like it needed to soften where it interacted with that bottom layer, and that made the whole thing sit a bit better in my mind. And then I'm just adding a little strip of this dark bluey purple down the bottom as well, just so a tiny flash of it appears, because it just wasn't in that original kind of bottom cluster. I'm adding the date to that label sticker that I had added. And then I finally started to use some of these stickers. These are from Pink Fresh Studio collection, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember the name of the collection, but it has lots of really like negative phrases on it, and I got it in a wild hair kit when I was on the design team, and I've hardly used them because I don't tend to I just avoid scrapbooking it. I'm just an emotional avoider. So it had some phrases on it like ugh and imperfect and, you know, that kind of thing. And I couldn't have put it better myself. So it was actually really good to finally be like, oh, I understand why this exists. Like, because I don't normally scrapbook in the throes of an emotional response. I just wait until, you know, a bit later, until the situation is settled, and view the positive spin on the situation. Like, if that hadn't happened, then this wouldn't have happened, sort of approach. So yeah, I'd never really found a reason to use that stuff, but yeah, I really like the way it turns out in the end, but it was such a struggle, honestly. I started it at about 2 in the afternoon and I finished it at 6 p.m. It's just obscene, but I just kept coming backwards. I mean, I wasn't doing it the whole time, but I've added a few staples in a couple of places, and I've added a little sticker up the top there that I'm going to put a little bit of additional journaling on, and a little sticker that says remember this, and then a little sticker down the bottom that I've added on foam tape, a circle one. I can't remember exactly what it says, but I think it's something like it's like keep trying, or editing my life, or like trying to be better, something like that. And then I'm just moving this picture because I wanted to use a rubber word that says today as my title, but I kind of forgot that when I was sticking it down, so I'm just moving it up a little bit, and then I can fit the today on there. I really don't know how to attach the rubber. I used some red line tape, I thought that might work, but actually it's really not going to stay on there like that, and it's slightly too far in to my layout to use like a tiny attacher, so I'm not sure what might be best to use. What am I going to do now? I'm using a rub-on, so I liked this little flashes of blue, so I'm adding a little floral rub-on. I mean, it's a very light and airy layout, considering it's talking about some things that for me, I mean incoherently, but nonetheless it's talking about a lot of kind of negative emotions. And then I'm adding these Maggie Holmes flowers. I bought a printable set of these flowers from the Create Paper like printable website, and yeah, I've printed them out and cut them with my Cricut, and it's just such a revelation because I love these flowers so much. So I was really frivolous in a way I would not normally be, and stuck loads of them kind of tumbling down, and that's pretty much going to bring this layout to a close. It was a super quick video, and I know I didn't explain tons and tons on here, but I hope you have kind of found it useful. Here I'm just going to add some glittery yellow splatters with my artist loft palette. I thought about adding some mixed media behind the picture, and in the end I was just like, no, this needs to be finished now, this needs to be done. So just adding a few splatters. I do wipe a couple away, and it's easy to do because I put so much water into my brush to get those splatters, so I could get them in exactly the right place. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.